Here are the 7 types of people Islam warns us against them. Remember, Islam teaches us to avoid these traits and cultivate good character instead. 1. Hypocrites, munafiqun. 2. Backbiters, ghibah. 3. Slanderers, butun. 4. Tyrants, zalimun. 5. Mischief makers, mufsidun. 6. Disbelievers, kafirun. 7. Arrogant ones, mustakbirun. 1. Hypocrites, munafiqun. In Islam, hypocrisy is considered a serious sin, and those who practice it are known as munafiqun. The term munafiqun is derived from the Arabic word nifaq, which means to be hypocritical or to be two-faced. Characteristics of munafiqun. 1. Double standards. Munafiqun pretend to be Muslims, but their actions and beliefs are contrary to Islamic teachings. 2. Deception. They hide their true intentions and beliefs, presenting a false image to others. 3. Fear of people, not Allah. Munafiqun are more concerned with gaining people's approval than pleasing Allah. 4. Lack of conviction. They doubt their faith and are easily swayed by others. 5. Spreading discord. Munafiqun often create divisions and stir up trouble among Muslims. Warnings against munafiqun. 1. Severe punishment. The Quran warns that hypocrites will face a severe punishment in the hereafter. 2. Worst of creatures. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, described hypocrites as the worst of creatures. Conclusion. Hypocrisy is a dangerous trait that can lead to spiritual ruin. Muslims must be aware of the characteristics of munafiqun and strive to avoid them. Instead, we should cultivate sincerity, honesty, and a strong conviction in our faith. By doing so, we can protect ourselves from the dangers of hypocrisy and earn the pleasure of Allah. 2. Backbiters, ghibah. Backbiting, or ghibah, is a harmful habit that involves speaking ill of others behind their backs. In Islam, ghibah is considered a major sin, as it not only harms the person being spoken about but also damages the speaker's own spiritual well-being. Effects of ghibah. 1. Hurts others. Backbiting causes pain and distress to the person being spoken about. 2. Damages relationships. Ghibah can ruin friendships and create divisions within communities. 3. Erodes trust. When we engage in backbiting, we become untrustworthy in the eyes of others. 4. Weakens faith. Ghibah can lead to a decrease in faith and a lack of compassion. 5. Brings sin. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, backbiting is worse than adultery. Bukhari. Ways to overcome ghibah. 1. Self-reflection. Recognize the harm caused by backbiting and make a conscious effort to change. 2. Mind your tongue. Before speaking, ask yourself if the words will benefit or harm others. 3. Speak positively. Focus on praising others and highlighting their good qualities. 4. Forgive others. Let go of grudges and forgive those who have wronged you. 5. Seek forgiveness. Apologize to those you have backbitten and seek their forgiveness. Conclusion. Backbiting is a destructive habit that can damage relationships, erode trust, and weaken faith. By recognizing the harm caused by ghibah and making a conscious effort to change, we can overcome this sin and cultivate a more compassionate and supportive community. Remember, our words have power, so let us use them to uplift and inspire others, rather than tear them down. 3. Slanderers, butun. Slander, or butun, is a serious offense in Islam, involving falsely accusing someone of a crime or shameful act. This harmful behavior can ruin reputations, destroy relationships, and even lead to physical harm. 1. Punishment in the hereafter. The Quran warns that slanderers will face a severe punishment on Judgment Day. 2. Damage to reputation. False accusations can irreparably harm someone's reputation and honor. 3. Social isolation. Slander can lead to social ostracism and loss of trust within communities. 4. Emotional distress. Victims of slander may experience anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. 5. Legal consequences. In some cases, slander can lead to legal action and financial compensation. Ways to avoid slanderers. 1. Verify information. Before sharing news or accusations, ensure their accuracy. 2. Mind your tongue. Refrain from speaking ill of others, even if you believe it to be true. 3. Respect others' privacy, avoid sharing personal information without consent. 4. Focus on positive speech, encourage and uplift others with kind words. 5. Seek forgiveness. If you have slandered someone, apologize and seek their forgiveness. Conclusion: slander is a harmful and unjust act that can cause irreparable harm to individuals and communities. As Muslims, we must be mindful of the power of our words and avoid spreading false information or accusations. By promoting a culture of truth, respect, and compassion, we can build a more just and supportive society, pleasing to Allah. 4. Tyrants, zalimun. Tyranny, or zulm, is a concept deeply condemned in Islam, referring to the unjust and cruel treatment of others. Tyrants, or zalimun, exploit and oppress others, violating their rights and dignity. Characteristics of zalimun. 1. Oppression. Tyrants use their power to exploit and subjugate others. 2. Injustice. They violate the rights of others, showing no mercy or compassion. 3. Arrogance. Zalimun believe themselves to be superior, justifying their cruel actions. 4. Disregard for the law. Tyrants disregard divine and human laws, acting with impunity. Consequences of zulm. 1. Divine wrath. The Quran warns that tyrants will face severe punishment in the hereafter. 2. Social chaos. Tyranny leads to social unrest, rebellion, and destruction. 3. Individual suffering. Victims of tyranny experience physical and emotional pain. 4. Corruption of society. Zulm corrupts the moral fabric of society, encouraging further oppression. Islamic perspective on dealing with tyranny. 1. Quran warn us, stand up for justice. Muslims are encouraged to speak out against oppression. 2. Support the oppressed, help those victimized by tyranny, financially and emotionally. 3. Seek lawful means, work within the legal framework to bring tyrants to justice. 4. Patience and perseverance, trust in Allah's justice and continue to resist oppression peacefully. Conclusion: tyranny is a destructive force that goes against the principles of Islam, which emphasizes justice, compassion, and human dignity. As Muslims, we must recognize the warning signs of tyranny and actively work to prevent and combat it, promoting a society built on fairness, equality, and the protection of human rights. 5. Mischief makers, mufsidun. Mischief makers, or mufsidun, are individuals who spread corruption, chaos, and destruction, causing harm to others and society as a whole. In Islam, mufsidun are considered a threat to the well-being of individuals and communities, and their actions are strongly condemned. Characteristics of mufsidun. 1. Spreading corruption. Mischief makers promote evil, immorality, and destructive behavior. 2. Causing chaos. They stir up trouble, creating conflict and discord among people. 3. Destruction. Mufsidun engage in destructive activities, harming individuals and communities. 4. Disobedience. They disregard divine laws and social norms, promoting lawlessness. Consequences of mufsidun. 1. Divine wrath. The Quran warns that mischief makers will face severe punishment in the hereafter. 2. Social decay. Their actions lead to social unrest, moral decline, and decay. 3. Individual suffering. Victims of mischief makers experience physical, emotional, and financial harm. 4. Collective responsibility. Communities that tolerate mufsidun may share in their guilt. Islamic perspective on dealing with mufsidun. 1. Enjoying good. Muslims should promote good deeds and moral values. Quran. 2. Forbid evil. Speak out against mischief makers and their harmful actions. Quran. 3. Restrain and reform. If possible, restrain mufsidun from causing harm and guide them towards reform. 4. Seek divine protection. Ask Allah for protection from the harm of mischief makers. Conclusion: mischief makers pose a significant threat to individuals and society, and Islam emphasizes the importance of preventing and combating their harmful influence. By promoting good values, speaking out against evil, and seeking divine protection, we can create a safer and more harmonious community, free from the destructive actions of mufsidun. 6. Disbelievers, kafirun. In Islam, the term kafirun refers to disbelievers, those who reject the truth of God's existence and the message of the prophets. Understanding the concept of kafirun is essential to appreciate the Islamic perspective on faith, spirituality, and the human condition. Definition and characteristics. Rejection of God's existence and the Prophet's message. Disbelief in the hereafter and divine judgment. Denial of the truth and guidance revealed through the Quran. Often characterized by arrogance, stubbornness, and a refusal to submit to God's will. Consequences of being a kafir. 1. Separation from God's mercy and guidance in this life and the hereafter. 2. Accountability for one's actions before God on Judgment Day. 3. Potential for divine punishment and condemnation. Islamic view on interacting with disbelievers. Respect and kindness. Treat disbelievers with respect and kindness, as they are still human beings created by God. Conclusion. Understanding the concept of kafirun in Islam highlights the significance of faith, spirituality, and the human relationship with God. While disbelievers may reject the truth, Muslims are encouraged to engage with them in a respectful and compassionate manner, inviting them to embrace the guidance of Islam. By doing so, we embody the principles of mercy, justice, and patience, reflecting the divine attributes of God. 7. Arrogant ones, mustakbirun. In Islam, the term mustakbirun refers to those who are arrogant, proud, and haughty. Arrogance is considered a serious spiritual disease that can lead to destruction and distance from God. Characteristics of arrogant ones. 1. Excessive pride and self-importance. 2. Looking down on others, belittling, and mocking. 3. Refusal to listen, learn, or take advice. 4. Overestimation of one's abilities and achievements. 5. Disregard for the truth and divine guidance. Consequences of arrogance. 1. Separation from God's mercy and guidance. 2. Humiliation and disgrace in this life and the hereafter. 3. Loss of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. 4. Destruction of relationships and social harmony. 5. Accountability before God for one's actions. Islamic perspective on dealing with arrogant ones. Humility and compassion. Treat arrogant individuals with kindness and humility, hoping for their guidance. Conclusion. Arrogance is a dangerous trait that can lead to spiritual downfall and social conflict. Islam emphasizes the importance of humility, compassion, and wisdom in dealing with arrogant individuals, hoping for their guidance and salvation. By cultivating humility and empathy, we can create a more harmonious and spiritually uplifting community, reflecting the divine attributes of God.